Stanislav, you oftentimes talk about green cards and work visas. However, you don't really talk much about the citizenship and the next steps after we got our green cards. What exactly needs to be done to get that blue passport in the pocket? Alright guys, today I'm going to cover this important topic. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn how to get a free evaluation for the visas that will bring you to the US passport. Let's go! Hello my dear friends, I'm Stanislav Shamaev, a licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. Today I'm covering the topic of US citizenship and what needs to be done to get that blue passport. Let's start from the beginning. Before you can get the passport, and by the way, there is no program in the US immigration laws that provides for US passport without any prior involvement in the documents. In other words, to get the US passport, to get the citizenship, you first need to get the green card. And you can obtain the green card with two major ways. And there's more, but there are two major ones: the family petitions and the employment-based visas. You guys know me, I don't do the family petitions, and I know good attorneys who can help you with those. The only thing I can tell you that if you marry the US citizen, you will be getting your US passport in 3 years after you got your first green card. That's one of the exceptions to how fast you can get your US citizenship as opposed to other means. Today we're going to be covering mostly the employment-based immigration. Those are EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4 and EB5 visas. Yes, I know they're called visas, but they're called immigrant visas, meaning that they are equal to green cards. Once you get approval for your employment-based petition, and let's say you got your visa and the passport, you cross the border and got your green card activated. That's one way to get the green card, to cross the border with the immigrant visa. The second one is to adjust your status. So regardless which way you chose to get to the US with the green card, you will get the date in that green card once you get the plastic. So do the math. Count 4 years and 9 months. That's the first time from the date of issuance of your green card, which must be 10 years. The whole expiration period is 10 years. So you count 4 years, 9 months from the date the card was issued and the date that's in that card actually. So once 4 years and 9 months passed, you will be able to file N400 form. Take a note, put it on the side, N400, Google it. Find the petition itself. It's pretty self-explanatory, and you can always read the instructions for the form. It's a separate document on USCIS website. What exactly needs to be done in order for that N40 to be approved? A few things need to happen. Number one, you must have spent at least 2.5 years in the US within the past 5 years. Or if you filed early, 4 years, 9 months, you need to project that you will be in the US with the proper amount of days by the time 5 years expire. And if it doesn't happen at the interview, you're going to be denied. Okay, so guys, calculate your days on a piece of paper. Make sure that when you travel on your green card, you have all the records by the T, by the day and by the hour. Because sometimes before the noon, after the noon, Eastern time, Western time, guys, I've seen cases where the citizenship turned on a few minutes. You wouldn't believe it, but it's true. Okay, it was like 1201. I was registered in the I-94 form, right, in the petition, and that wasn't enough. Okay, it's like, oh God, that was terrible. That was terrible. So thank God it wasn't my case. So yeah, you gotta make sure that you have extra days on top of those 2.5 years, because sometimes, you know, there could be an argument on both sides. So make sure it's not 2.5 years to the T. It's 2 years and a half and a week, all right, to be on the safe side. Of course, while you on the green card, don't let the more than 6 months period lapse between your leaving the US and coming back, because you may create the rebuttable presumption that you abandoned your residency, and those questions, believe it or not, could be raised at the N400 interview. That's number one. 2.5 years, that's one of the main things. Number two, you did not violate any immigrant law or any other law to that extent, especially criminal laws. Number one thing that will stop you from getting the citizenship, and at the Trump era may get you deported, if you smacked your spouse and that spouse called the police, which is very often. That happens very often, and you guys will be surprised. Not only guys smacking their wives around, but wives do the same, pretty much equally. Guys, just wait. Don't beat anybody up, ever. But if you want to do this, do that after the citizenship. Okay, you still get arrested. You're still gonna go to jail. You're still gonna maybe get an injunction in the court. You still may get the anger courses requirement. And if you repeat that, you may go to jail, but you're not gonna lose your US citizenship. This is kind of a joke, but guys, just don't do stupid stuff, all right? I've seen it so often that even the smartest and brightest people and the most contained people, they still sometimes do this. So control yourself. Get that mantra, get that mudra, get that om out, and make peace with yourself and whatever you have. So, and don't do other stupid stuff. Stealing from the store, beating somebody on the street, chasing somebody with a car. I mean, just don't do anything of this, all right? It's not worth it. And again, I'm covering the most important stuff because there's here and there's little things, but that's no need for that. Number three, you need to speak English and take the test at the interview. You also must answer some historical questions. They are pretty easy, okay? There's like how many constitutional amendments are there, who was the first president, and who is the, what's the name of the House something really easy. And you have the book to prepare. It's very hard to fail, okay? English is a little bit more important. It's also an easy year test, but still, you must know English for your own purposes, first of all, not for the purpose of citizenship. Because speaking English is very important for your development, for your growth in the future. And the last important criterion, and guys, sometimes even attorneys miss that, you must have been a resident of this particular state from where you filed, Florida, New York, Texas, whatever, for the past 3 months, okay? So if you moved and you didn't change the address, make sure you do change it, and then wait for 3 months, and then file. Because if you fail, you're gonna waste a lot of time and some money, and your stress, and your nerves, okay? So 3 months where you live with a changed address in the USCIS system, type in Google, change address USCIS. You actually must do that every time you leave your prior place and go into the new one, not only for the purpose of getting the mail, but also as the requirement to do so and failure to do so during the Trump administration may be the reason to revoke your green card. You don't want that to happen and be deported, right? So this is very important. Change your address as soon as you moved. Okay? As soon as you moved. So this is all, guys. But now, Stanislav, okay, this is good. What are the best ways to get the green card? Well, I specialize in talent visa, EB-1A, national interest waiver visa, EB-2 and IW, and the investment visa, EB-5. Of course, I do non-immigrant visas and they have the equivalents for those that I mentioned. But because we're talking about the green cards, those are the three that you should be focused on. If you want to know if you have the chances to get approval for those visas, there is a free evaluation form below this video. Fill it out, wait for 2 days. I'll get back to you with analysis of your case and let you know if you have the potential. Look for the word potential. Not all of you will get that, but those who will. The next step is complex immigration planning, where I will build and develop a winning written strategy in your case. Smash that like button if you want more videos like this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. Best information here. Also comment and give me questions below in the comment section. I have Telegram Messenger, I have Instagram, I have Facebook, I have X. All the links are below this video. My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I'm a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.